Hey guys, I have Nam248 here recording another episode of Ultimate Tip 4 because why not? I'm making pretty good progress. This is the 6th episode, and in 5 I got through most of the set. That's not going to continue. Anyway, this is Ruby in the Rough, which is a really silly level. Say hello to the teeth. He is the gist of the level. Okay, so this is the the crux of the challenge. Getting the teeth into the bomb. And at this point, if you know the level layout, which you should from the item swapping to get here, the teeth is stuck up against thin walls matching here, which is all well and good. And what does that mean I can do? Well, I need to get back into the main level, and I can't easily do that. If I go right, I end up right back where I start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to teleport down. That was a mistake. Let's try going. Oh, wait, no, I can just do that. I'm stupid. I could just escape the whole time. I was so worried about the teeth that I wasn't thinking about teleports correctly. Anyway, moving on. The last pockets of Anarchy. Which, this is a dumb level. I will be one of the first to admit that. This is how I generally do this kind of section in MS. And then every once in a while you need to actually think. Anyway, why is this a dumb level? No, I'm doing that part. Well, I think it's a dumb level because of one reason. I threw down a pattern, I built the level, and I called it a day. One part at a time. Even though there's really not anything interesting going on. That block is a red herring. Not even a good one. I should do this monster manipulation one. So yeah, this is essentially just being deliberately antagonistic with placements of things. That being said, there's a really cool, elegant solution. Glider goes around, fireball goes around. Does not require any changes after the initial placements, which I really like that. Like, that is cool. I wish I could have come up with a way to require that. So here's a rotationally symmetric ice section that exists to fill space. Here's some key swapping with no options, really. Red for yellow, yellow for blue. And now, oh no, I can go blue for blue. Or I can go blue for a combo of red and yellow. Did I just do this wrong? No, I didn't. There's an extra blue key. Wow. That is not something that I would have left in today. I would have caught that and fixed that. I thought I screwed it up for a moment. Anyway, I like this tank section. This tank section is cool. Even if it's just tanks, thin walls, hit one button. It is laid out in an interesting way. And then there's this puzzle, which I didn't mean to leave for last, but it's not that bad. You just have to see that shuffle and you're done with it. So what did I forget to do? Oh, I forgot to do this little toggle section. Are there 5 tips in here? There are. In we go. Is there another entrance? Yes, there is. Yeah, toggle maze. Super boring stuff. and let's just go finish the level. We've cleared out the pockets of anarchy. Woo! It's boring. Speaking of boring, here's a level inspired by dancing on ice of all things. Seriously, an inspiration from dancing on ice. Can you see it? I was like, boosting, yeah! I still am, to a certain extent. But I don't make this kind of level anymore. Which, as Josh has said, some of that's kind of a shame that we just don't make certain kinds of levels anymore. And that makes, they don't make them like they used to, a real thing. Some of that is for the better. Some of it isn't. Like, I'd still make a section like this. But I wouldn't make something like that intersection anymore. Even though Cold Fusion Reactor did well enough to get into CCLP4, I don't feel the need to. Also, I can just go finish the level, but because I haven't done this in a very long time, I'm going to make the extra loop around. Because I built this path for a reason, I'm taking it. I could not find a way to prevent it, and so I left it in as an Easter egg, figuring nobody would notice it. Only for everybody to notice it. Icy Wasteland 2, because of all the levels to get a sequel, it was Icy Wasteland. Anyway, this is Dewprism, which is, in my opinion, one of my favorite concepts for a level. Not so much for the level itself. I mean, it looks pretty boring so far, right? You've got these random, completely unconnected sections. That's where you'd be wrong. This is all actually based on, well, Threads of Fate, which is a game not many people seem to have heard of. Which, it's almost the precursor to Kingdom Hearts and is on the PS1. It's a really cool game. Highly recommend checking it out. And all of these areas in the level are, well, they're based on sections from Threads of Fate, in the order you go to them. Yes, even this part. Nice invisible wall. Totally reasonable. Except it actually is. Yeah, this section mirrors the divergence in locations from the source material. Look it up if you don't get it. So I am actually going to, well, show that. So this is the spooky zone. Ooh, it's spooky. So the paramecia lets me essentially see the path that gets felt around. Let's get out of the way. And here we've got a fire section. I'll go into more detail because I am actually going to replay this level in Lynx. After I'm done with it in MS. Why? Because there is that difference. It's worth doing. There's nothing under any of those blocks. And we end off with a bit of a tower type section. Why? Because dodging. Except this isn't the last part of the level. There's one final section. Wait, I want to see if I can do this. Because I built this in a very, very particular way. So that if done right, you never stop moving. Like, this was planned. Like, this was 100% planned. Yeah, so that is Dewprism. I really like the level. I think it's a good level. It didn't do too well in CCLP4 voting, but that doesn't change that I like it. Perhaps more for the concept than anything else. And, oops. Sorry about that. My keyboard did a double hit. So I'm just pulling up Dewprism in Lynx. Alright, I fixed that. So here it is in Lynx. Most of the level's going to play out the same way. But anyway, you start out with Corona Town, and you go off into the forest. Then you have the underground ruins as the second area, or second major area of the game, complete with getting chased by a random boulder, and then having to jump from colored platform to colored platform. This part in the game is actually pretty dumb. Then you have Crazy Mel's Atelier. Yes, I forgot to get the blue key. So busy running through what you actually do in Threads of Fate because I haven't played that game in a while. That I completely spaced. On what I was supposed to do in the crazy part. Anyway, this part's based on Crazy Mel's Atelier, which is very cheery, different, whatever you want to call it. It's a weird place. And then after that, as you can see, the bomb on the left is blown up and the bomb on the right is still there. So the divergence is you go into some haunted castle type area in Rue's story, which I equated to the MS rule set. And if you're playing Mint's story, the gimmick of Threads of Fate is there are two stories that progress pretty much concurrently, and you play through one or the other. Or, you can play through both and get the full experience. Like, the two characters play out very differently. So this one is the whole treetop area that Mint goes to. And, she's got magic to do wind stuff. This is not a great section. It's really not. However, it's there. Huh. I actually didn't know that could happen. That's cool. Like, that's a really neat little trick. Take notes, JB. I find things. Anyway, do I have everything? I think I have everything. The rest of the level is just going to play out the same, and I'm going to finish it because I'm here. Anyway, then you go off to the mountains, talk to a dragon, then you end up climbing the Tower of Maya, and then you go through Valen's fortress. Which, this is not exactly the most faithful recreation of Valen's fortress at all. But you know what? Who cares? Like, there is a sense of you don't stop moving when you're traveling through that area in Threads of Fate. And there's a sense of retraversing the areas on a grid. So, here you go. Valen's Fortress. I didn't beat my previous score, unfortunately. So sorry. So now off to Spiderweb, which is another maze. It's a straightforward maze. There's the central force floor you jump off, and one cool thing with the teleports. But other than that, it's a level. You can do a lot more interesting stuff with mazes. This shouldn't be at level 90. But, I'm not upset with it being in the set. I like it in concept. It's just execution-wise, I think more could have been done. Then again, it's hard to get this kind of multi-teleport screen wrap thing. And when I built this, I was just happy that I figured out how to get something like that. It's like, yeah, it wraps around the screen twice in 2 places. That's awesome. And it is. There's even a section you can only reach by teleporting. But, it's you're walking around. It's this main path of gravel, I guess. So you can always find your way back to the teleports easily. It's, execution-wise, this is mediocre at best. Unless you really like mazes, this one can probably be given a pass. I am learning that Ultimate Chip 4 is not as good as I thought it was. That's not to say I'm learning it's a bad set. It's not. It's still a very good set on the whole. It's just not as good as I thought it was. And it's also far easier than I thought it was. I don't know if that's just because I was bad when I built it, and so I thought everything was harder than it actually was, or if that's because I'm just better now. Anyway, moving on to Tomb of the Forgotten. This is a Sokoban level. This is nothing but a Sokoban level. Let's go. I know how to do these. I don't know if the solution's offhand, mind you, but I know how to do these. I think. I think this one is the hardest of the four, so I wanted to do it first. So this is a good state to be in. I can't push any other blocks onto the top. And... wait, what? If I fill that in, I push that there, I push that there, it doesn't help me. I have to end from over here by putting 2 blocks in, it looks like. Oh wait, this will do. Just push that one in, turn it around, push this one up, and then slot this one in place. One down. I don't remember which one's linked to what. I think the one on the right is the next easiest one to screw up. Just with finding the way into it. Again, there's one block on the wall that can't really be moved. No, this one's easy. Wall block goes up, and we're done here. Let's go up. So this one has 7 blocks, which in theory makes it a little more complicated, especially with all of the central positions. But I have access to walking around the puzzle, so it's not going to be that hard. So the first thing I want to do is get that block off the wall, so I can push this one out of its little corner. And I think I can just fill in the rest from here. Yep, another easy room. Like I said, I thought I remembered the bottom puzzle being the hardest. It is. I did make a decent amount of these pure Sokomans, and these are not adapted from anything. These are fully customized. Ah, yes. So this one is actually secretly a 4-block puzzle. Not a 6-block puzzle, but a 4. And it's a tricky 4 at that. Now, how do I do this? I forgot about this little section. So, what can I do with these blocks? Well, what I'm going to need to be able to do is... I think the trick is just push this block here. Extract this one. I can put this here. Okay. So it's just this little format, this little structure allows filling in that. Or turning blocks. I'm about to sneeze. Ah! I swear I'm still not coming down with something. I do like the aesthetic on it, of this level. The aesthetic is really nice, and the puzzles aren't bad. Like, adapted Sokobans were something I always thought were kind of dumb. So this is Master Control Unit, which... this is the obligatory, I want my walls to all be sockets level. And what do I do with this fact? Pretty much nothing, they're just all sockets. In my currently unreleased set, so yes, like guys, I'm giving you another update on that here. It's at 120 levels built with another 2 half levels built, so 2 levels that are half done, and a vague idea for another. So I am going to get this one to 149 before releasing. I'm going to test it before releasing. I'm not going to release an impossible level, guys. I did that once. I'm not happy with that. So I'm trying to remember what I need to do here. I need the suction boots. I can get the suction boots. So yeah, 120 levels in, getting there. Let's take this block up and over. And eventually I should be able to get to the fire boots, right? Let's take the teleport. That's funny. The easy water-themed level I mentioned in the last video, the Eternal Steam Engine. Let's just say that used 3x3 chunks of chips as well. That's funny to me. So at this point we break out into the element quadrants. The tired, overused element quadrants. Because everybody's done it. And then we get this part. This is one of the coolest sections in almost any level. Is just work your way down the buttons. There's almost nothing to it, but I think it's just really cool. Easy block puzzle. And then this. Wait, no, I don't have the green key yet. I have a yellow key, which lets me go here. Now, overriding this. Yeah, let's actually go read that hint. Nice find. Level 1. Password XHFA. Because why not, right? So you go over there, get the green key. Random force floors work really well for aesthetics, honestly. And then we have this block, which this block from right near the start lets us reach the exit. It's a fun level. Like, slightly tedious in places, but not bad. Oh, I really don't want to play this one right now. This is the gimmick. Do I need to take a pair of flippers? I think I need to take a pair of flippers. Use this ice slide as a means to observe the surrounding area, which hardly helps you. This is one of the hardest levels in the entire set. Bar none. I know, it looks really innocuous right now, but trust me, this is one of the hardest. There's just a lot to take into consideration. I need to take this block to go block off the tank here, I'm pretty sure. And I can go in here. Originally, I didn't allow this little passage to go observe this area, which is probably a bad thing that I didn't, but I do now. So there's fire boots, section boots, and flippers. And I think I let walking out through here too, again to observe the surrounding area of the puzzle. Yeah, so this is the gist of everything. So I need to go in here with some number of boots, and then I can come back out. So if I go in here with no boots at all, we'll say, come in through here, I get stuck. So if we assume I take suction boots, and suction boots also give me the yellow key. And then with fire boots and flippers, if I go back in, what happens? I think that gives me access to over here. It does. But then I have no boots. I need to take the bottom path, but it works. Or at least I think it works. Me being nice and allowing, returning if you screw up. Didn't have to do that. Obviously, it would be a pretty poor level if I didn't. Well, maybe not obviously. And just because I can explore up here, this is the final gimmick. That dirt tile. Run at the end of the level. That is not exactly the most popular thing I did. So I need to take another pair of flippers in order to be able to escape. And this gives me access to the toggle button. Do I do anything with this yet? I don't think so. Because I need to remember the state, and I need to figure out how to get all 3 of these blocks out, which I can do that with the toggle button. Yeah, so we'll just leave that there for now. Take another random force floor. No, I forgot to hit the tank button! And due to those recessed walls, I cooked the level as a direct result of that. Because this would let me get the red key and finish. Now I have to do it all over again. Man, this is what I didn't want to do. I am not a fan of this level anymore. I think it was Andrew Menzies who liked it during CCLP4 testing. Somehow. I don't. I put a lot of work into designing this, and it's really just... It does certain things for the sake of doing things. It is... I guess there's nothing inherently wrong with it. I just remember going through a lot of pain trying to design it. With the gimmick of all these celled 3x3 rooms. And just working within that. And just this section over here. Hit the tank button. Yes. Red key is mine. The one thing this level has going for it is the whole section with that block. It has that going for it. I can get this chip. Do I have to flip the tanks again? No. I feel like I forgot something again. Anyway, socket gives me access to escaping, gives me access to over here. Which, now we run from the fireball. And this is something that did get complained about. Because it's not obvious that's what you have to do. Anyway, I'm going to play external hard drive right now, and I think that's going to be it. This is literally just what if Foursquare had item swapping. Now, it's not, I guess that's slightly unfair to the level. It's external hard drive. It is very slightly unfair to the level to say that it is literally just Foursquare if it had item swapping. I say slightly because it has one additional thing to it. It adds what if Foursquare had block pushing? And at the time, I thought this was a great idea. Now it's a little bit of a why did I think this was a good idea? So the socket is over here somewhere. So this is the dumb bit. So pushing that up would be bad. So I push it here. Have to push it up, up. Alright, have to start pushing it left, which lets me go like so. Right, right, hook it up. Cool. And now I just retraverse this area we already picked up chips from, and it's just... This is one of those levels that didn't need to be made. Again, like, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's just, it does not mesh with what I like anymore. It's like, whatever. At least I finished it. What's the next level? White hole. Ah, this one's horribly busted. And it's another one of those levels where you really do need to do things in the right order. Just like, what was it? Microprocessor. As you can probably guess, the set has started hitting its stride in terms of difficulty. Finally. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Alright. Thanks for watching. Hope this has been interesting. 6 parts in, I'm about 2/3 of the way through the set. Should take me another 6, 7 to get through the rest. Because the levels do get longer. Let me just, like, skip ahead a bit. This has a 999 time limit. This has a 999 time limit. This has a 999 time limit, and my mouse did a double click for no reason. But yeah. White hole in the next video. Later.